Now that we're in the spoopy season, or whenever this is going up, I thought it'd be good to draw something as dead as my channel. So, it's time to beat a dead horse and make the first actual sequel on this channel, a return to the Pokémon Magical Girl Art Challenge. But these aren't any Pokémon Magical Girls, no. They're a ghost type Pokémon Magical Girls. So, yeah. Hi, it's Datache, and I've got a mic now. That's right, the toaster I used to record on before is dead in the water, and your ears will be spared. Say, you want to see more improvements around the channel like this? Then maybe consider subscribing. With more support, I'll be able to commit a lot more time to this channel. And at a bigger sub number, I have a little surprise in store. So, what are you waiting for? Anyway, with that out of the way, let's check out our first prompt. Gengar is like the quintessential ghost-type Pokémon. Them being Gen 1 is certainly a point in their favour, but them also just being one of the first evolutionary lines of ghost types in the franchise in general definitely helps their case. I kinda wanted Gengar to be the most simplistic of the bunch you see in this video, sort of like how Pikachu was in the first one. But with basically all the ghost types, I kinda wanted to have this vibe of being almost undead, so pale skin, sunken eyes, and other features that come off as threatening or undead. The contrast it has with the Magical Girl stuff was definitely interesting to say the least, and left me with some fun or straight up evil looking designs. And to be completely honest, I'm fine with that. I tend to only have a couple ideas when I go into these, so them sort of morphing and transforming on their own is something I kind of expect at this point and find to be really fun. With Gengar here, I kinda wanted to follow my own rule where I try to avoid just straight up throwing traits from the original Pokémon directly onto the humanoid design, since I think that's kinda lazy. And instead he used a bow to try and recreate the shape of the ears on Gengar's head. Other aspects of the face were honestly kind of easy to implement, and I think it translated quite well, especially with the whole punk troublemaker vibe I gave her. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to say for the moment, so I'll see you after the time lapse. Banette was a very interesting pick. Now, if you didn't know, this video was inspired by a comment from my good friend Pomodoro, who you should check out by the way. I hear he has some fun stuff in the works for his channel. Anyway, He suggested doing some more cursed and or like creepy Pokemon, and I think Banette reflects that idea perfectly. Banette's dex entry in Emerald says it's an abandoned plush doll that was thrown away and searches for its owner, which is haunting in just the worst ways, but also led to some interesting design choices. One was the decision to add stitches and patches over Banette's body. If they're supposed to be an abandoned plush toy, I figured they'd be pretty beat up, and paired with the faded and miscoloured fabrics, makes them look old and have this Frankenstein's monster type look. On top of that, I incorporated the zip mouth and scar from Banette's Mega Evolution because they look incredible. You may have noticed the colours varying pretty hard from the OG design, and that would be because Banette is literally just a block of grey with red eyes, and there really wasn't much to work with. I ended up leaning towards some weird greenish greys and a paler skin tone, which was probably for the best, since it added to a ghostly vibe. I think that's all for now, so I'll meet you for the last speed paint. Chandelure, probably part of the most iconic Ghost-type lines. I was pretty close to picking Litwick for this one, but some inspiration hit late and I ended up going for it. To be completely honest, this design is pretty plain in terms of posing and outfit design, but what I think elevates it is the flames. These kinda just came to me. I think it was inspired from Bridget from Xenoblade 2, who has these blue flames throughout her design, which I always thought looked pretty cool. The funny thing about fire and the like is that I do not draw a lot of effects and stuff, so this was sort of a trial and error to make the shape feel chaotic enough. I think I did eventually find a shape that worked for me, but looking back I'd try to make the lower areas look a little less bubbly and the top less symmetrical. Another thing I was pretty happy with were the elements from the original design, like the cold metallic parts of the chandelier, where I implemented them by curling the edge of the dress and of the hair, which I just think is another cool little detail. As for the colours and junk, most of it translated pretty well from Chandelure. I went for a darker violet colour for the main dress and had some purple gradients across the board, which I think looked pretty great with the bright blue flames. But that's all for now, so let's see the finished product and get to the outro. Well guys, thanks for joining me once again for another video and... Wait, are you kidding me? We're doing this fake out thing again? We did one last video. That's right, Goobers, a fourth prompt of one of my personal favourite legendary Pokémon, the iconic Ghost Dragon themselves, Giratina. Now, Giratina is raw as hell. Almost every major appearance they've had in the Gen 4 games, mainly Platinum, made sure to drive their image into the back of your skull, and I had to make sure that whatever I drew did the same. Hell, their Dex entry in Platinum says they were banished for their violence, so it was important to me that I presented her as a fighter, and a hell of one at that. One of the first ideas I had based on Giratina's design was to give my homegirl a helmet and some big gauntlets, and from there I used a pretty cool website called Pose Maniacs to find a reference for a punching attack pose, which I reference pretty heavily here. I'm pretty new to action poses, but I think this was definitely one of the best ways to start, since trying to BS it from your head is just asking for problems. Past that, it became a matter of incorporating colours and body elements like the tendrils, which I turned into scarves, into the design. Okay, that's a lot of speed paint, for real this time, and I'll see you guys in the outro. Whoa. Oh god, what a haul. Don't expect me to keep up the 4 pieces of art a video thing, by the way. This video took me long enough. Anyway, if you want to see more of this stuff, try giving the video a like or sharing it with others who might be interested. I've also got my socials linked below if you want to see updates about the channel. That's it for now, so I guess I'll see you in the next one.